Welcome back. And now we know that the PDP, which was once Nigeria's biggest political force, is currently facing, serious internal problems, from leadership disputes to issues surrounding coalition and so many other things around them. And so we're going to be looking at PDP crisis, coalitions, and intra-party crisis. And in the studio with me, we have Dr. Chima Chidubem. He is the Vice Chair, Health and Social Care, National Senior Citizens Center, Enugu State. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Uche. Very nice to be here again.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
All right, now, so a little backstory, right? In late 2023, the PDP and some 6 smaller parties, announced a team-up called Coalition of Concerned Political Parties to to sort of fight against the one-party dominance. So why do you think that team up faded so fast, and how do you think it would affect new coalition talks from 2025 to 2027?
Okay, thank you very much, Uche. This is a very broad topic. It's dated for long now, and it's important we are talking about it though. So the People's Democratic Party is a party that has faced a lot of challenges so far, presently. And we are hoping yesterday was the end, because I'm sure you know what happened yesterday. And let us take it from the top. The woes of the People's Democratic Party started as far as 2015 election. Immediately, the then President Goodluck Jonathan, lost the ticket, lost the seat. That formed basis for alignments, realignments, because we saw persons that were previously in the PDP cross-carpeting to the APC, All Progressives Congress, because power has changed. Even the workers in Asorok will tell you that not more than a week after President Jonathan lost the election, he hadn't already handed over. The villa became a ghost town. So the woes of the People's Democratic Party started from there. Immediately after the cross-carpeting, they started witnessing a lot of internal wranglings. That was when the person of the then governor, presently the FCT minister, stepped in and took shoulder of a lot happening in the party from all we could see. And it appeared he made a lot of force, funding, because funding is a power a lot of times. And when he did that, he was able to capture the heart, the alignment of persons in the party. I don't know if you're flowing with me.
I'm flowing.
So, thereafter, politics is interest. And the minister's interest is for presidency, clearly. And for presidency to represent the southern ticket of Nigeria. So what happened? You saw the dynamics that played out when the People's Democratic Party had the following Congress to pick the presidential candidate. That was when the former immediate past presidential candidate for the Labour Party, in the person of His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi, had to resign from that very Congress that day, because he already had the wind start, the heads up of what was going to happen. So he had to drop out from that very race, so that the INEC couldn't even register him as having participated anywhere. And some persons, like the Honorable Minister, he was so confident that he was going to go ahead. But then realignments happened. People stepped down right there in the Congress. So, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar took the day. So what did we see next? That there formed a team of persons whom have been gathered to believe the same ideology, and that the Southeast has been marginalized. But, that's why I said it's all intertwined. And I'm taking us back. So all these events started just around that 2015. Because before then, the PDP set up a committee that was meant to go and look at the zoning of the presidency prior to that very Congress that happened. So the Southeast made a huge mistake. Why? Because it was a Southeastern man, the then governor of Enugu State, immediate past, that chaired that committee, of which I even congratulated him on having taken a good decision, because the entire region, a lot of places in the country, we are saying is the turn of the Southeast. The zoning should come to Southeast, you know. But then the committee landed and said that the presidency is going to the South, which was a blind ticket. They didn't mention Southeast. They didn't mention South-South, which we were hoping to hear. So immediately they did that. We were expecting to further hear maybe a micro committee or from the then neck of the PDP saying that this ticket is now further zoned down to the Southeast. We didn't hear that. So everybody went to the polls of the presidential primaries then. So immediately, His Excellency Nyesom Wike lost out on that very day. You saw a fierce battle of realignment. Since you denied me this, what will happen? I will not go ahead to throw my full weight. And we saw it. And the Honorable Minister has told you he has no regrets whatsoever. And that was just essentially working against who? The PDP. So you see members of the party, both from the ward, both from the local government level, both from the state level, national, now saying we are being sanctioned for what? Anti-party activities. Why are certain people not also being suspended by the disciplinary committee or actions taken on them for anti-party activities? Why are we selectively acting? And up till now, those voices are still wrangling because nothing has been done. So it went further to deeper crisis, and even deeper crisis. So as we speak, we now had the fundamental last intra-party crisis or the PDP, whereby the struggle for who holds what now is now on stake in the executive council of the PDP, National Executive Council Committee. So, popularly between our Senator Anyang and Honorable Udokoye for the National Secretary. So, alignments, realignments, up and down. And it has now, you know, it's funny because the history we had before all this crisis started, that's why the democracy should be for the people, by the people. A lot of persons in the state level, especially in Enugu State, told the then leaders of the state that we should approach this in a better way. We wouldn't have seen this crisis, or wouldn't have had such weights of winner and vanquish. And it's true, the meetings were held and said no winner, no vanquish. Are the words written on our faces? Or do you go to engrave them in the hearts? Whoever is wounded is wounded. It will take some time to assuage them. So presently, some people within the state level advised the hierarchy. The leaders said, Honorable Udokoye is the national youth leader of the party. Why not remain as the national youth leader? After all, the tenure of Senator Anyang, when is it ending? December. We are in July, 1st of July. Half of the year is spent already. Now we field another person to go for the national secretary. So you have two persons from the region. One person holding 40 seats, another still holding forth the national secretary. Then, as Senator Anyam has now come back after having contested the gubernatorial elections then and didn't scale through, to resume his role, if you hold negotiations and it works, you continue. If it doesn't work, you allow him to finish his tenure, then you come back. So presently, you see, we are now floating. We are hoping to see how Honorable Dokoye will be compensated or will be put into very good consideration. Because yesterday, the party, after much chaos, that the meeting was held, because you saw that the BOT members, party stalwarts, stakeholders, they said they were walked out of the NEC meeting hall by security agencies, are claiming to be power from others from above. And Chief Bode George will tell you who is above.
All right, but
So,
before we go into that,
yes,
we know that Atiku called for, you know, a fresh opposition alliance, and you know, so, but the PDP governors, obviously they pushed back, you know, against it. So now, would you say that this is helping or hurting efforts to unite the opposition?
well, what I am saying is that the coalition, as it is presently, isn't necessarily exciting to me, and I believe same for majority of Nigerians. And also, with the happenings of yesterday, it has showed you that the PDP has tried to make a lot of compromises, bringing aggrieved parties together to a round table, and each person's grievance tried to be tackled and probably find a way to have a gentleman's agreement. So you see that the coalition, as it is, the PDP will not be taking such a major force if it continues the way it has gone yesterday. So invariably, a lot of bigwigs in the People's Democratic Party are already drawing back. In fact, they even went as far as having the agreement that there will be no press briefing, counter press briefing from different angles and or whatnot. That to show you the level of in-depth agreement they had. So you see that the PDP is not going to throw so much weight into that coalition. And presently the coalition, just as the news emanated, is going ahead to field the then Senate President, Senator David Mark, distinguished Senator David Mark, as the party chairman, national chairman of the ADC. You know, because they are trying to play a very knowledgeable game that since it was quite difficult to flow with the SDP, Social Democratic Party, fielding another political party, which is a new one, could be very dicey, because you may come on the day of the election and you will not see your name on the ballot paper, and you will be told that your process of registration, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you won't kill anybody. You just didn't do what you were meant to do. So the next driving vehicle which we've seen to come into play is now the ADC. So we are hoping to see how that works. As we know, the principal movers of that coalition presently His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi, His Excellency Nasir El-Rufai, His Excellency Rotimi Amici, and then the former Senate President. And if you look at it critically, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar is losing flavor. He is losing flavor because we've seen him over and over in the race. And apart from the north, I don't know if he's met with so much vigor around other regions of the country.
Yeah, and speaking of Atiku, now, some people are of the opinion about Atiku and Peter Obi joint tickets coming 2027. So do you think that this is something that that can actually work, considering the dynamics that is currently playing out in the party?
Well, we have seen that that arrangement has been made earlier. It didn't work as expected. Yes, the body language will tell you, obviously, that it didn't play out as expected. And we're already seeing that another arrangement is being made, either for that ticket or another, because we've heard Mr. Peter Obi saying that he doesn't mind going for one term and handing over to the North. So it might sound as he doesn't mind going for a single term and handing over to His Excellency Atiku Abubakar. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And you see, they've looked at it. Mr. Peter Obi had what we would call the Obi wave during the last elections. Now that wave rode on the wings that he was the presidential candidate. Are we still going to have that same wave if he were to be the vice presidential candidate? Because people will think that he will be stepped upon. You see what's happening with the vice president presently? Shetima. And I have to put His Excellency, because they've gone a long way to be there. We are not mates. They are all bigger than me. So, His Excellency Shetima. So, the vice presidents are often seen as a second fiddle. So, nobody would want to go and place their votes on somebody who would not have a say at the end of the day. So, if that ticket does not see Mr. Peter Obi flagging as a presidential candidate, it may have some dances, and the ticket is said to belong to the South. It may have some dance around and surprising them. On the other hand, we know the net. In Nigeria, we play a lot of politics of region. I'm an Igbo man, I'm a Northerner, I'm a Westerner, I'm a Yoruba. That is where the popular Emi Loco came up from. So, now we don't know if the North will be able to accept a ticket that Mr. Peter Obi is flying very comfortably. Although we see a lot of media frenzy around him. But then you see religious affiliations.
Yes. All right. Now, but one question that is on my mind is who is really in charge inside the PDP? Because we have, it seems as if, a lot of camps are pulling the strings. We have Atiku's camp, we have Wike Makinde, we have Governor Bala Mohammed. So it seems like, we don't know who exactly is, in control or in charge. So how can we tell what is going on when there are so many people trying to pull the strings?
Okay. Presently, we have a lot of rumors flying around, Like I said, when you talk about happenings in the PDP, to a great extent, you cannot alienate the FCT minister from it. Because there have been said or seen to be some alignments to him, some loyalty to him, and some friendship to him, which is being sustained. And those friendships hover around the fact that there is a government in power, in the president's government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and that government will throw a lot of favor in terms of appointments, in terms of positions, and everybody wants a piece of the cake. So, seeing the play out, seeing the recent bed romance between the FCT minister and the presidency, a lot of people want to cling to him. So loyalty is playing around him.
All right, and also, we find that some PDP leaders are saying that Tinubu is influencing or is luring their members to defect from PDP to APC and to other parties. So What do you think about that? What recent defections can you say backs up that claim?
Well, someone will tell you, isn't it obvious? Aren't those facts obvious? Okay? Because when you look at what is going on presently, let me just take a case study. I think this is the opportunity to bring it up. Of the incidents in River State. If you were a governor, Uche, and overnight you were suspended, when we felt nothing would happen, when the National Assembly, instead of having a head count, went ahead to use a voice vote and pushed ahead with a state of emergency. You see who wins the big stick. It was just done overnight. So that tells you that there's a lot of power in the center. And a lot of persons do not want to be found in the back books of that power in the center. Because if you do anyhow, there is tendency of seeing anyhow. So what does that tell you? Is that not a reason enough for people to run after? This is now created by the wave is created by the presidency. Have I not answered your question? So you can definitely see there are.
But very quickly, because of time now, would you say that PDP, how would you describe the state of PDP at the moment? Do you think it is too damaged to fix already, or you think it's actually dying out and there's really no point anymore at this point?
Well, there is always a point. There is always a point. There are some people who have stayed so long in the PDP that they would find it hard to go and find a new ground and remain on top immediately. So they must save PDP. And those are big names. So the PDP will not fall. It will remain there. But I must tell you dishearteningly, they have not played the role of a good opposition in any form. In fact, I will even put out my suggestions presently. The situation of Nigeria, the electoral process in Nigeria, currently is not working. Why? Because we talk about elections too soon. Governance of the people is not taken up seriously.
Yes,
because immediately after the elections of 2023, the next day, 2027 is being spoken about. I think we should put an end. In fact, we should establish a law that people should be jailed if they should talk about the next election 6 months before that election.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chima. We've run out of time. I mean, I would love to continue the conversation with you, but we don't have time anymore. So thank you so much, Dr. Chima Chidubem. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
And we'll be right back. Stay with us.
See Nature TV. News in your pocket.